answer those specific questions. So Abhijit, I hope you are here, and thank you for your time. I will add you to stream, and then I'll stop for screen sharing, and I would add Abhijit to the chat. Hello, Abhijit. Thanks for being here.
Hey
So
Ashish.
nice. So Abhijit is supporting BESA from last 2 or 3 sessions, last 2, 3 batches. So thanks for being here, Abhijit. And we thought like it's also good to know that what is his role and responsibility, what are the things he is responsible for, how his day looks like, and that would probably give you more idea on different profiles available, because it may not be only solution architect which are working for AWS. There are different persons and profiles working. So you may find, okay, I align more with XYZ position, let me reach out to that person, and probably they should be able to help me out further. So welcome, Abhijit. Do you want to share some
Ashish.
slides?
Yeah, sure. Let me do
Yeah.
that.
So there is a present button. If you click on that, I will add you into the stream, and then I'll go off
Yeah,
camera, and then
just
I'll
a
let you
minute.
handle the things.
Uh, do I need to do the present slides?
Yeah, so
No.
there is a present button, and there may be an
Okay.
option to have full presentation of the slide or a screen, whatever you prefer. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm just trying. Yeah, I think I'll go with
Uh,
the full slide.
yeah,
Sorry, it's not
no worries. Take
going
your time.
somehow.
And everyone, we all are doing it on our personal time, and we want to ensure that we answer as many questions as we have. As I said before, if we are not able to answer anything or we forgot, just give us another nudge, tell us again, and probably we would pick it up and help you to answer those questions. Thank you.
Just give me a minute, Ashish.
Yeah, take your time, no issues at all on that. Now, while we are waiting, can everyone tell me which city you are joining from? I could see people waking up in the middle of night, very early in the morning. So if you could all tell me which specific city you are joining from, till Abhijit is able to present the slide. London, okay. Ahmedabad, London, nice. Essex, we are not far then. Albania, wow, nice. India, Kolkata, Bengaluru, Pune, all right. Amchi, Mumbai, I like that. We have planned a session for discussing those pillars. Yeah, that is coming up. Thank you. London. Okay, I'll add your slide to stream, Abhijit. Cameroon.
yes,
Thank
Ashish.
you. Singapore. That would be too early for you, isn't it, Francis? Thank you. And Ukraine. Wow. Indore. That's nice. That is my hometown too. Jakarta. Hyderabad. London. Now, all over the world, isn't it? Ghana. Nice. Thank you, everyone. And hopefully now you could see slide from Abhijit. I would go off camera and let Abhijit handle everything. I would respond to question in the chat, and hopefully you would have a better experience with Abhijit. All to you, Abhijit. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you, everyone. I'm absolutely thrilled to see everyone from various part of this world, and really looking forward to talk to you. Like Ashish said, that I was part of a support crew in BESA community for last 2 batches, and today I'm here as a speaker for the session, and it's really great thing for me, and I'm absolutely looking forward to do this. I always look forward to BESA group for professional support and to keep me updated with latest technical news. Before I go into my role, recently, in fact, when I was going through the LinkedIn, I just found out someone shared about the latest offering of AWS about the Instance Connect. And that's where I found that, yeah, okay, there is something that new feature has rolled out. Then I went back, I read few more details about it and realized that, oh yeah, this is something I can definitely use for one of my project. And then I shared it with my wider project team, and now we are working on it. So yeah, thank you, thanks a lot for keeping me updated with a lot of groups, and it's definitely feels like a wider family. Thank you, everyone. Wonderful. So, I'll quickly talk about me in terms of who I am, and then as we see that today's topic is about a day in the life of Amazonian, so I'll talk about how did I reach to Amazon. So, I'm Abhijit. I'm working as engagement manager in AWS Professional Services and based out of London. Originally, I'm from India, western part of India, Pune. I see a lot of people here from Pune, so it's in India. And I did my master's in computer science, and after that, I started working. I started working with Capgemini first as a mainframe developer. When I look back, I see that yeah, from mainframe developer to engagement manager in AWS, yes, it has been a roller coaster ride. After Capgemini, I worked with Barclays, Cognizant, yeah, multiple companies, and then finally, I sorry, yeah, finally, currently I'm working with Amazon. Um, and I was looking for a job change. I got a call from Amazon, and then been through the recruitment process of Amazon. Today's session is not for that. We'll talk about it sometimes later. But yeah, that's how I was able to get into AWS and now currently working at Amazon. Now, today's session is about what is my role. So typically, I just thought of using this meme. When I say that what I'm doing, typically my family, most of the time, especially my daughter, she's 5 year old, she always sees that I'm on a call. My parents or some of my relatives, my friends, when they're visiting our place, I see that, yeah, okay, I'm on a call, I'm in a meeting. So sometimes my family thinks my primary job is just to get into a meeting and talk to people. What I think, I feel that I'm a superhero. I feel that yeah, I can do that. I can do a lot of things. I can change everything. I can do the cloud transformation, but that's not what I am. Let me go back. What I'm actually do. Wonderful. So predominantly, like I said, that my role is engagement manager. Predominantly, I work with my customers. Here, I have just listed a few key activities that I do. Typically, my day starts with having calls with customers as well as teams, pretty much involved into day-to-day execution meetings, planning, understanding current issues, and how we can make sure to improve the ongoing projects, improve our customer demands, how we can facilitate those, how we can fulfill those. Apart from that, yes, I do get involved into other activities such as working with students, helping community, as well as some of internal team sessions. Let me now talk about my key responsibilities. Like I have listed here, I predominantly work with customer engagement, planning and execution, team collaboration, and reporting. So when I work with external customers, I help them for implementation of AWS services or for their migrations. I work with our external customers as well as I work with our various partners. We do work with multiple partners, and on a day-to-day basis, I work with them part of a team. It mainly includes planning and execution. When I talk about planning, it may about the entire wider program planning, or it can be as small as sprint planning, depending on the requirement, what we need to do. I get actively involved into the planning. I work with various teams and carried out the planning and execution exercise. And like I said, that team collaboration is very important for us, especially when we have a multiple global teams. Post COVID, all of us we are working from home. We have got a teams working out of different geographies, different time zones. It becomes very important that how we are collaborating with each other, because that becomes the key. A lot of times, all of us we would have experienced that just because of we do not have a right collaboration, just because of we do not have a right team communication. A lot of time things are not moving. So team collaboration is very important. That is one of the key part of my role. I need to make sure that everyone has got a right access to the information as well as people. I need to identify is anyone there who is coming across an impediments because of which they are not able to progress ahead. A lot of time it so happens that teams they do not know whom they need to reach out to, what they need to do ahead. In such cases, I'm not an expert, but as part of my job, I need to talk to them. I need to understand what they're trying to achieve, how they want it to do, and then based on that, help them facilitate the conversations, make sure that they're reaching out to right contacts, be it with customer teams, be it with partner teams, or in some cases, it can be internal AWS teams as well. Another key part is about reporting. Yes, we all do everything, but in the end, if nobody knows what we are doing, there is no point of doing the right execution. In the end, there are direct and indirect stakeholders in your project. There are team members in project. Everyone is interested to understand what we are doing in the project. Where are we? What is our progress? Is there anything which is blocking us? How can we go ahead? And for that, reporting is very key part. Now, when I work on the reporting, I need to work at the multiple levels because, for example, say I'm working on one of the project. If I am going to publish a report with my customer project manager, my customer project manager would be interested in understanding what we are doing on a day-to-day basis. If I'm doing with my IT director will be interested that on the wider program level, how are we doing? Are we meeting the overall program level timelines? Are there any risks? Whereas if I do a reporting with C-level suite, they will be interested into something else. So that becomes a crucial part of my job where I need to identify uh, who is my audience, what details are they interested into, and then accordingly I need to report the data. Wonderful. Let me move ahead. Yeah. Now, even I have been working as a IT project manager or a technical delivery manager. Um, Now, coming into the role of an engagement management, sorry, let me just see. There's a question from Chitresh. Does your role require to meet the customers in a person, especially after COVID, or is it all remote? Chitresh, it completely depends on the requirement, but yes, I'll not say that I don't meet customers at all. It's not fully remote. Yes, I do go to customer sites. I do talk to them. Sometimes customer come and visit AWS offices or we meet at the partner offices. It's not fully remote. Depending on the situation, we decide whether we wanted to carry out the remote meeting or do we wanted to have an in-person meeting. Honestly, personally, I like to. It's again purely my personal interest. I like to do the I like to do the hybrid. I like to go with the hybrid model. So I do like to meet people face to face. Once you meet people face to face, that definitely builds a different kind of rapport. And then sometimes when you are conducting the workshops or when you have a wider team meetings, if you are able to get people on site, yes, that is helpful. But again, it's not mandatory. That's why I said that depending on case to case, sometimes we do meet at on site, or sometimes it's remote. Yes, you start engaging with customer at which phase usually projects start? No, it is at the discovery phase. I'll quickly cover that in part as a part of my key response as a part of difference. Um, So yeah, so like I said, that I was working as a project manager or a IT delivery manager, and now here I'm doing the role of an engagement manager. Initially, I was also wondering when I mean this is about when I was being interviewed for AWS, and I was thinking that what extra I need to do. So after going through the training, I just wanted to call out few key differences here. What at least I have experienced while working on the day-to-day basis. So, like I said, that customer engagement. So it's yeah. So understanding the customer needs. That is where the key difference start. It is about going beyond your project. It is about understanding what exactly your customer needs. A lot of time, it so happens that you get a project, you start working on it, but you are not very much connected with customer. So you will not understand the exact requirement in terms of what exactly customer wanted to do. Let me give you a quick example here. In one of the project, we were working on the migration, and then there were multiple options for the migrations. For example, if you're going to migrate the databases, should we move to a RDS, or can you do the lift and shift on EC2? Again, both has got a pros and cons. In such cases, it is important to understand that what exactly your customer wants. In our case, it was the compliance requirement and speed was the key. Understanding everything, we did the analysis and we made a call. So a lot of times it is important to understand what exactly your customer needs, rather than just going with the project, rather than just going with what you have been told to do. You need to go back. You need to, in Amazon, we call it working backward. You need to go back. You need to understand who is your customer and what exactly your customer wanted to do, and then again, look what you are doing, analyze what is your project going to match what your customer wants. Are you going to fulfill your customer requirements? If not, accordingly go back and make sure that you're aligning it. Work with the global customers. So making sure that I'm understanding the local context, the cultural alignment. That's also key part of my role. Like I said, that having the strong relationship, my role does not end with the project. It goes beyond, like I said, that it goes beyond the project. So I keep working with customers. Um, for multiple projects. That is where having that strong relationship is very important. And to build the strong relationship, you have to earn the trust. You need to make sure that customer trust you, and you have got a regular communication with your customer. Sorry, let me just take a minute here. Let me go through the questions. Okay, difference between engagement manager and TAM role. Yes, there is a difference. TAM mainly works with, again, TAM and customer engagement manager both are customer facing roles. However, engagement manager works predominantly on the implementation. TAM takes care of the day-to-day operational support. Engagement managers managing select few account. Yes, it is quite possible. Work with multiple accounts, but again, depending on size, as a one person, I can only do limited things. Cannot do though I think I'm a superhero, but honestly, I'm not. So I have my limitations. I can only take care of certain things. So again, if I have got two small projects, I can work on multiple accounts. But if it is one massive project, then it becomes only single customer. Yes, sorry, transforming your journey from technical track around to AWS to managing people. How is that journey, and did it require you to have a certain degree in people management? Yeah, very good question. Not really. I do not have a degree in people management. It happened in one of my previous organizations. It was an organic move. Like I said, that I started my career as a mainframe developer. So I moved from mainframe developer to mainframe project lead, and I started working as a mainframe delivery manager, working on the mainframe projects. And after that, I got an opportunity to work on one of the Azure project. Um, I was looking for some other opportunities, and I found that there's an opportunity to work on the Azure project. And luckily, that team had got some time where I can spend some time in learning the Azure skills. So I started working there, and then finally I moved here. Um, I do not have that degree, but I feel that you need to keep looking, you need to keep learning from your role. Make sure that you're not repeating the same mistakes, and that's how it is helping me. Um, so engagement manager is like an account manager. No, not 100%. Account manager's role ends. Sorry, account manager does not get into the day-to-day project deliverables. That is why this difference comes. As an engagement manager, I work on the day-to-day project deliverables. Account manager will not work on the project deliverables. Um, what level of technical knowledge do you need to be a successful? Yes, AWS is a technical company, so you need to understand, you need to know, you need to have some kind of technical knowledge. Not that you're not doing a role of a solution architect, So you don't need to do the you don't need the expert level of knowledge, but at least you should understand what your team is talking about, and you should be able to translate the technical requirements into non-technical language with your customers. Assume that your customer does not know, so does not understand the technical. In such cases, if you are able to understand what your technical team is saying, and then if you are able to explain it into the non-technical language with your customer, yes, you will be successful. That's very important. Then again, like I said, the AWS is a technical company, so most of the time, your team they are very much at the expert level of technical knowledge. So when you are having a call with them, when you are having your daily stand-ups or planning meetings, at least you need to understand what they are discussing. So yes, you need some level of technical knowledge. Um how to transit yourself from a technical to engagement manager, specifically during interviews. It's hard to convince recruiters or hiring manager. Uh, yes, you need some kind of effort for that. Maybe we can take that as a feedback, and I can come back with very clear data points. I feel that yeah, it's quite a vast topic. It will at least need 15-20 minutes to talk about. So in the interest of time, I'll just move ahead. Is the cloud strategy advisory pre-sales or part of engagement manager role? Not as such, but on a day-to-day basis, sometimes we need to do that. It's not that it is not exactly part of a role. There are other teams who do that, but when you're working on the project and when your customer comes and asks about other AWS services or other offerings, then yes, in a way you do that. Okay, going back to the differences. So, like I said, that yeah, you need to think about going beyond the day-to-day project deliverables as well. You need to understand that what is your customer's long-term roadmap. Your current project, is it in line with it? If not, what you need to do, you need to understand what are going to be the impacts across multiple data, multiple aspects of your current system. For example, cost, quality, maintenance, scaling, end users. I would specifically like to call out end users becomes very key part here. Like when I'm working on the cloud migration projects, a lot of time we do not interact directly with end users, but that's something I try to avoid. I try to make sure that when I'm working on the migrations, I ensure that I understand what applications are being migrated, and I go back and I talk to the end users, ensuring that how they're using the applications, what are their expectation, are they aware that we are migrating it? A lot of time it becomes black box for them, and if it is a black box, if they're not going to see any difference, or if they're going to see only improvements, yes, nothing like it. But at the same time, it becomes that yeah, I go beyond my project deliverables. One small example I can tell you that we got a request about providing certain data. The request that our team got was purely about providing the data. We got a request, yeah, we need this 3 4 5 fields, and can you extract, and can we get that data? So yes, we shared that information. After a couple of months, again, I got it, and I remember one of my previous mentor told me that if you're doing a thing first time, yes, you learn it. When you're doing it second time, master it, and if you're doing it third time, make sure that you automate it. So remembering that, when I got that same request second time, I thought that no, I need to go back. I need to understand. I need to dive deep, and I need to understand that why is same request coming again. So I went back and I checked that how this data is being used. Then I realized that. The certain end users are using that data, they're putting into the Excel documents, they're transforming it, working on it, and then creating some kind of report. So as a result, we proposed that can we provide you the ready-made reports, and then we worked on the solution, and then we made a some kind of a solution available to end users, which was enabling them to access that data and reports anytime they want. So yeah, that's where you need to go beyond the day-to-day project deliverables, and need to make sure that you understand the exact customer needs. That's kind of some of the key differences. Um, on the day-to-day project management activities against the engagement management. Uh, any question? Yeah, do you guys think there's a chance for a network engineer like me to become a full-time cloud architect operation person? Yes, I totally believe yes, it is possible. In fact, I remember I in some of previous batches I'm not able to recall the exact name, but there were guests who specifically talked about such scenarios where how to transition from um, one role to a cloud architect role. So yes, it is definitely possible. Nowadays there are a lot of resources available vis-a-vis one of the, and you can go through them. Work on some hands-on experience, and then yes, that transition is possible. Yes, sorry, there's another question. 5 years of essay experience or 5 years of general industry experience, but sorry, I did not get the exact context of it.
Vijay, that is fine. Like we are responding those questions in chat
Okay,
as much as we can, so you could keep on focusing on
no
it. If
problem.
there is a question which is very specific to you, I would put it on the screen and then probably you could answer it. But otherwise, you could continue with your information.
Yeah.
Now, I have one more question. Like, at what stage of customer journey a engagement manager is engaged? So I am a new customer to AWS. Would I directly talk to you, or would I not be directly talking to you initially?
No, you usually would not talk to me directly. If it is part of a existing relationship, then it does happen. Say for example, if I'm working with X customer, I'm working on one project, and at that time, and then in the same organization, there is another team who needs same kind of requirement. Then they do reach out to me directly, and then I get them connected with our account management or service management team who actually take care of initial onboarding, understanding initial requirements, and then when it comes to a discovery process or when we get an agreement with the customer that yeah, X particular project we are going to do the particular project, and that's where my journey starts. That's where my role starts.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, now yes, we talked about what I do on a day-to-day basis. I just thought I'll just put three or four things which are actually helping me to do my job better. Uh, on a everyday basis, I try to improve myself. So I've just listed down three or four things that I make sure that I'm following that. So like I said, that rule of 5 for 3 days. What is it? So you have a 5 days of week when you're working. I make sure that I talk to my team on everyday basis. Not that I'll talk to my entire team on every day. Yes, it is quite possible that I may not be able to talk to everyone on every day, but I make sure that I have some kind of contact with my team on an everyday basis because my I strongly feel that your success is dependent on your team. If your team is happy, if your team is motivated, yes, you can deliver the projects. So that's where I make sure that yes, I'm in touch with my team on a regular basis. At least in a week, at least for 4 days, if not for Friday, but at least for 4 days, I talk to my customer, and same as my team, not to everyone in my customer, but um, at least like for example, some of the customer team members, I do interact with them for 4 days. I specifically make an effort to talk to them for 4 days, and remaining and for 3 days, I make sure that yes, I'm talking to my internal leadership team for other activities. For example, if there are other any trainings that we need to do, or sometimes there are other proposals going on, sometimes there are other initiatives going on. I make sure that yes, I'm talking to them for 3 days. So that's my rule of 5 for 3 days. But essence is that you identify what are your stakeholders whom you need to interact on a frequent basis and accordingly plan your schedule. So for you, it may change. It is quite possible that you may not need to talk to your customer on a 4 days basis. It's enough to talk to them for 2 days. But yeah, you identify. Uh, what is your customer requirement, what is your team's requirement, how much time you need to spend with your internal leadership or for other activities, and accordingly plan your schedule. Yeah, three things I don't miss during the week. This is again another thing I learned over the years from experience, that your bias for action is very important. You need to take an action. You can do a lot of plans. You can put a lot of things together. I'll share my personal experience. So, few years back, I was very much interested in doing a lot of things. I used to start a lot of trainings. If I show my Udemy, you will see there are a lot of trainings that I've started, but I have not finished. It so used to happen even in my personal life. I was reading 3 or 4 books at a time, and in the end, I realized I haven't finished even a single book for say like 3 months or 6 months. Only one thing I was very good in doing multitasking was Netflix series. At a time, I was watching 4 or 5 Netflix series, and I was finishing them in within like 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, that's when I realized that yes, it is good to do a plan. It's good to start a lot of things, but at the same time, you need to finish them. You need to have some kind of action. I understand, especially in the day-to-day project management kind of role, sometimes it becomes monotonous, and you feel that okay, I need to prepare, say, a forecast report. I know it's easy. It's just going to take like 1 hour for me. I'll do it tomorrow. And you keep procrastinating. And at one point of time, you realize that, oh, I haven't done it for last 3 weeks. And then you need to end up doing a lot of work. So that's where I feel that bias for action is very important. Actual action do make the difference. Also, another angle to it is that there is a risk that you get into a trap of delegation. Somewhere you need to do a delegation. You cannot do everything. You have to do it, but at the same time, you need to identify what is the right level of delegation. If you do too much of delegation, and if you are personally not taking any action, you are just making sure that you are doing a delegation. It will not really help. So that's where I feel that yes, bias for action is very important. When you plan something, make sure that you're actioning on it. You don't just start it and leave it there. Start it, work on it, and finish it. Take it to a conclusion. Gratitude, be thankful to what you have achieved. I again, it's my personal belief that as an individual, I will not be successful without a support. Especially in my role, it's about interacting with people, facilitating different conversations among multiple peoples, enabling connections among multiple teams. So my success is again dependent on what kind of support I'm getting from my team, my customers, my partners around, my well-wishers, my leaders, as well as my mentors. So yes, you always be thankful for, for the support that you're getting. And last but not least, productivity time. So keep some time for yourself. So at times it does happen. Like I said, that my role is customer facing. I work with multiple teams. So sometimes it does happen that my calendar is like from morning 9 to 5 a.m. It's fully booked for meetings, and I don't have time to do my work. And at the end of the day, I realize that, oh, I haven't done my work. So don't do that. Um, be keep some time for yourself. Make sure that you're agreeing on certain window, and plan your productivity time. Otherwise, if you just don't keep some time for yourself, you will not be able to think differently. You will not be able to find out the solutions of the problems. Invention will stop. So that's where I feel that yeah, it's important. You keep some time for yourself. At a time, it is quite possible you get lost into the lot of meetings and don't get a time, and then it becomes so monotonous. It so happened that, like I said, that you are starting a lot of things, but it's not finishing, and then you keep thinking about, well, I'm not able to take certain things to a conclusion. That's where your productivity time really helps you. Wonderful. This is another important topic I thought I'll cover. So I talked about my roles and some of my experiences, what things have really helped me. But at the same time, this is one very key aspect which I'm still trying to improve. I'm not. I'll not say that I'm expert or I'm doing really good in it. I'm still trying to improve it. Especially gone are those days where you have one skill and then you can just focus on that skill and then you can survive for your entire career. That's not happening nowadays. We see that world is changing. A lot of new technology offerings are coming, so you always have to keep learning. You always need to you always need to keep yourself updated with what's coming into the market, what can be the future after, say, 3 years or 5 years, and accordingly make sure that, yes, you align yourself. So, learning and professional development really helps. So, I personally like to do a certifications, and I don't do a certifications uh, to basically to get a job or basically to get an highlighted. Uh, Personally, I feel that when you're doing a certification, for an example, let me just take security. We are now doing a security track. So let me talk about security certifications. If you take a goal of doing a AWS security certification, you have certain goals. Accordingly, you will put a plan. You know what you need to do, what you need to learn to clear that particular certification, and then accordingly you will learn. You will learn about security stream. And personally, if I don't keep any goal like a certification, I'll not. I fail to put a lot of focus into it. I can't really do trainings just because of without any end goals, and that is where certifications are really helping me. I try to identify. I try to do at least 2 or 3 technical certifications, technical or non-technical certifications as well, like 2 or 3 certifications in a year, and accordingly put a plan together and do my learning. That's again my take on learning. Certifications are one of the best way to learn and keep yourself updated because you have some kind of end goal. I use a lot of online training platform, Udemy, and Udemy, YouTube is there. So far, my best learning platform or the best way to learn has been BESA, and I started joining BESA training sessions purely to understand to learn. I was new into the AWS, and to gain a more knowledge, I thought I'll start joining these sessions, and they have been really helpful, and I'm sure all of you will agree to it. So online learning platforms are really helpful. And last but not least, the in-person or virtual trainings or webinars. I really like personal trainings nowadays. Post COVID, it's not possible to have the personal training. A lot of time it happens virtually. But when you have some person actually talking to you rather than just going through the videos, so like live webinars or the session that we are having currently, it definitely makes the difference. So these are few mediums that I use to keep myself updated, which really helps me. I think, yeah, that's kind of a very high level summary of what is my role, what I do on a day-to-day basis, some of the tips and tricks which are helping me, and how I try to improve myself on my learning and professional development front. So yeah, that's all. Thank you guys, and open for a question if there are any. Sorry, if you're on mute.
Thank you, Bijit. That was insightful. And we see a lot of questions coming up related to roles and how could transition to cloud. So we would say that if you are first time, we talked about lots of transitioning things into our previous channels
Yeah.
or previous recordings. So check those videos. If you still can't figure out, maybe give us a nudge or maybe ping us. We may try to answer that question. We may not be able to chart out a very specific course for your transition, but at least we can give you a pointer that what could have helped other people, and you could also get that into. So Vijit, what is the best part of your role? Like, what do you feel wow about? Like, I feel wow about when somebody says, hey Ashish, I understood it because of you. So I feel wow about it. What is about your role?
I'll say two things. First of all, yes, definitely. Like I said, that I work for the external customers. So when my customer comes back and they say that, yeah, we are really happy with what you have done. That's our part. And second part is that when my team says, and which is again equally important, that we are happy to work with you. We are really
Right.
liking working with you. And I'm a person where I believe that my success will start from happiness of my team. If my team is happy, I'll be able to do any project.
I agree on that. It's very important. Keep your customers happy, external, internal,
Yes.
both, isn't it? Agree on that. So thanks, Abhijit. Thank you for your time, and hopefully people have got bit more understanding on what is the engagement role, engagement manager's role, and we would have more personas coming in and talking about various roles. So it's cloud is not just about solution architect. You feel you are not that much technically inclined, you want to do more like things Abhijit is doing or account manager would do. So we are trying to bring more personas here so that they could share their journey, and then you can find a path which would work best for you. And we would be happy to help you out in your journey, shouldn't be a problem at all. We thank you for all of you to being here and then spending your time. We hope we were able to give you the content you are looking for. Obviously it may not be catering to everyone's need, but we are trying to keep things in a generalistic fashion. Like there is a foundational track, and there is a specialist track, and then there is a behavioral track, and our last weeks will focus more on the behavioral part. So probably you would get more day-to-day actionable insight from there. So thanks everyone, and I hope you enjoyed. Any feedback, let us know. And can I ask everyone one more request? If you like this session, please shout out about it on LinkedIn so that more people can get benefited from it
Yeah.
and they could join the channel. Anything you like, maybe you taken a screenshot, maybe you watched a video, or maybe just information that I attended this session today and I liked it. This is what is my learning from that, or this is why I recommend this session. That would also encourage us to find out better ways to help you out, and it would also help us in reaching out to more people so that a lot of people can get benefited from these sessions. All right, so I need your support there. Please help us in that case, and we hope to see you into next session. The recording would be available in few hours. Live session is already there, so you should be able to do it afterwards also. So hopefully we should be meeting next week, and we will be discussing more interesting things as you move forward with your journey. All the best. Have a good weekend. Thank you, Parna, for answering all that sea of questions which were coming in, and really appreciate that help. Probably we would have more people coming next time, and we would be able to answer more questions as we move forward. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Thank you, Abhijit.
Thank you.